looking this way. Very good, Amy. Thank you. All right. Receiving the topmaul from Starbuck, he advanced towards the mainmast, with the hammer uplifted in one hand, exhibiting the gold with the other, and with a high-raised voice exclaiming, "Whosoever of ye raises me a white-headed whale with a wrinkled brow and crooked jaw, whosoever of ye raises me that white-headed whale with 3 holes punctured in his starboard fluke, look ye, whoever of ye raises me that same white whale, he shall have this gold ounce, me boys." "Huzzah, huzzah!" cried the seamen, as with swinging tarpaulins they hailed the act of nailing the gold to the mast. "It's a white whale, I say," resumed Ahab, as he threw down the topmaul. "A white whale. Skin your eyes for him, men. Look sharp for white water. If ye see but a bubble, sing out." All this while Tashtego, Dago, and Queequeg had looked on with even more intense interest and surprise than the rest, and at the mention of the wrinkled brow and crooked jaw they had started as if each was separately touched by some specific recollection. "Captain Ahab," said Tashtego, "that wild whale must be the same one they call Moby-Dick." "Moby-Dick?" shouted Ahab. "Do ye know the white whale then, Tash?" "Does he fantail a little curious, sir, before he goes down?" says the gay header deliberately. "And has he a curious spout too?" said Dago. "Very bushy, even for a parmacetty, and mighty quick, Captain Ahab." "And he have 1, 2, 3, a good many iron in his hide too, Captain," cried Queequeg disjointedly. "Oh, twisty like. Be twist like him, faltering for a word and screwing his hand round and round as though uncorking a bottle. Like him. "Corkscrew," cried Ahab. "Aye, Queequeg, the harpoon lie all twisted and wrenched in him. Aye, Dago, his spout is a big one, like a whole shock of wheat, and white as a pile of our Nantucket wool after the great annual sheep shearing. Aye, Tashtego, and he fantails like a spit jib in a squall. Death and devils, men, it is Moby-Dick ye have seen. Moby-Dick. Moby-Dick." "Captain Ahab," said Starbuck, who with Stub and Flask had thus been eyeing his superior with increasing surprise, but at last seemed struck with a thought which somewhat explained all the wonder. "Captain Ahab, I have heard of Moby-Dick, but it was not Moby-Dick that took off thy leg."
"I think it was the whale."
"Was? Who told ye that?" cried Ahab, then pausing. "Aye, Starbuck, aye, me hearties, all round. It was Moby-Dick that dismasted me. Moby-Dick that brought me this dead stump I stand on now. Aye," he shouted with a terrific loud animal sob like that of a heart-stricken moose. Aye, it was that accursed white whale that raised me, made me a poor pegging lumber of me for ever and a day." And tossing both arms with measureless imprecations, he shouted out, Aye, I'll chase him round Good Hope, and round the Horn, and round Norway Maelstrom, and round Perdition's Flames before I give him up. And this is what ye have shipped for, men, to chase that white whale on both sides of the land, all over, all sides of the earth, till he spouts black blood and rolls fin out. What ye say, men? Will ye splice hands on it now? I think ye do look brave." Aye, shouted the harpooners and seamen, running closer to the excited old man. "A sharp eye for the white whale, a sharp lance for Moby-Dick." And we're going to skip now to chapter 38. Dusk. By the mainmast, Starbuck leaning against it. My soul is more than matched. She's overmanned, and by a madman, insufferable sting that sanity should ground arms on such a field. But he drilled deep down and blasted all my reason out of me. I think I see his impious end, but feel that I must help him to it. Will I? Nil I. The ineffable thing has tied me to him, tows me with a cable I have no knife to cut. Horrible old man! Who's over him, he cries. Ay, he would be a democrat to all above. Look how he lords it over all below. Oh, I plainly see my miserable office, to obey, rebelling, and worse yet, to hate with touch of pity, for in his eyes I read some lurid woe, would shrivel me up had I it. Yet there is hope. Time and tide flow wide. The hated whale has round watery world to swim in, as the goldfish has its glassy globe. His heaven-insulting purpose God may wedge aside. I would upheart were it not like lead. My whole clock's run down, my heart the all-controlling weight. I have no key to lift again. You're tired. Okay, one little bit. A burst of revelry from the forecastle. O God, to sail with such a heathen crew that have small touch of human mothers in them.
Dad,
Yes?
does this have God
Yeah,
in
no,
it?
he's sort of praying. Anyway.
Ah.
Whelped somewhere by the sharkish sea, the white whale is their demigorgon. Hark the infernal orgies, that revelry is forward. Mark the unfaltering silence aft. Methinks it pictures life. Foremost, through the sparkling sea, shoots on the gay, embattled, bantering bow, but only to drag dark Ahab after it, where he brews within his sternward cabin, builded over the dead water of the wake, and further on haunted by its wolfish gurglings. The long howl thrills me. Peace, ye revellers, and set the watch. O life, 'tis an hour like this, with soul beat down and held to knowledge as wild, untutored things are forced to feed. O life, this now I do feel the latent horror in thee. But 'tis not me, that horror out of me, with a soft feeling of the human in me. Yet I will try to fight ye grim phantom features. Stand by me, hold me, bind me, O ye blessed influences. That's the end.